Hey guys, what's up? Now a couple of months ago I was in Baltimore with X-Laser doing videos on lasers, and while I was there, Dan turned me on to the Haze generator from American DJ. Today I'm going to show you this machine. I've got it now and I love it. And I think you're going to love it too. What's the difference? We have haze, we have fog. What's the difference? Well, with fog you get these really thick clouds of smoke that come out of the machine. And they don't last long, they dissipate very fast. With a haze machine, you get a light mist. Kind of like when you get up in the morning and it's a little misty outside. It's kind of the same effect that a haze machine does. And the cool thing about haze is that it hangs in the air for a long time. And if you use a haze machine properly, you're much less likely to set off fire alarms than you would be with a fog machine. So before we plug it in and have any fun with it, let's have a quick look at the machine itself. Here's a quick tour of the machine. If you look on the top right here, you'll see a filler cap right where that arrow's pointing. That's where you pour in your haze juice. Then the front, of course, this top bit is where your haze comes out. And right there you actually have a little window to show what level your fluid is at in the machine itself. Now if you can see, I don't have very much fluid in this at all, and that's because you don't really need a lot of fluid. Haze juice lasts a very, very long time. And then at the back of the machine, of course, you have the cooling fan, power switch, AC input, and right here you have a place to plug in a remote control, which we'll look at next. Here's the remote control. Now this is really slick. It comes with a 30-foot cable, and you can see it right here. This is just haze. You push this button and your haze comes out. Then you have a timer. You have duration and interval. Duration is how often the machine disperses haze, and interval is for how long it disperses it. You can go from, I think, 10 seconds to 5 minutes on this. And it's got a magnet on the back, so you can stick it anywhere. Alright, let's go ahead and plug the machine in. I'm going to flick the toggle switch on the back, and as you can see we get haze immediately. There's absolutely no warm-up time on this, like you would have, say, on a fog machine. Now I'm going to go ahead and plug the remote control in. Again, the remote control is magnetic. Now remember we talked about we have duration and we have interval on here. I've got the duration turned down to 10 seconds and the interval turned down to 10 seconds. I'll turn the machine back on. Now you have to press this red button to turn the remote on itself. You can press this haze button right here and get haze immediately. Or you can run it on the timer. Everything's turned down to 10 seconds, duration and interval, so we'll go ahead and press the timer button, and in just a few seconds we'll get haze and then it will shut off. This is very handy if you're trying to make a room go for several hours, I guess, with some atmosphere. You don't have to worry about turning the machine on and off. You can set these intervals and not worry about it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use the remote control. I'm going to turn on the hazer. You can hear it. We're going to blow some haze off in the room, and then I'm going to turn some lights on that I've got installed here in the dungeon. Now we're only going to let this run for about, I don't know, 20-30 seconds, for as long as I'm talking here, but as you'll be able to see, it doesn't take a lot of haze to create a really cool effect, which is the great thing. You don't have to fog up a room like you would traditionally with a cloud. This is more of a haze, like you'd see in the morning when you get up. It's a little foggy outside, but it's actually hazy. It's not really foggy. Foggy would be like the clouds, I guess. This is hazy, a little hazy outside. You can still see through it fine. The visibility's good. Just a little bit of atmosphere in the air. So that's probably enough. We'll go ahead and turn this off. I'm going to throw some tunes on here. Turn the lights off and turn on some effect lights and have a little fun.
I'ma give my love to somebody new.
there you have it, the Haze generator from American DJ. Really nice atmosphere with that, don't you think? We didn't have it on for very long at all. We had it on down here in the dungeon. Now granted, the dungeon's small, roughly, I don't know, maybe 12, 13 feet by 24 feet. But we had great atmosphere with the machine only on for like 30 seconds. Now depending on your room size, you may need to leave it on a little longer initially to get a little bit of atmosphere in the room. But the good news is that once you get some haze in the air, it stays there for a long time. It just kind of hangs. You don't have to have it on constantly. And that's where the included timer with the Haze generator comes in handy. You can set that at 5-minute intervals. And maybe you only need it to go off for 20 seconds just to get a little more atmosphere in the room. Maybe you need it to go off for 50 seconds. Maybe you need it to go off for a minute or 2 minutes. Whatever the case is, I mean, it kind of depends on what size room you're in. But a lot nicer than fog. No warm-up time. Just a much better overall effect as far as atmosphere goes than fog, in my opinion. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to ask. I'll do my best to answer them for you. In the meantime, practice and enjoy.